Cast. All right. Welcome to the attendees who are filing in. We're welcome to the Netcapital's live Q&A with Asprodental. We're going to give it just a minute here to let everyone file in. We're right at 7 p.m. Eastern right now. We'll give people a few minutes. So everyone sit tight, hang tight with me, and as soon as we have a couple more people come on in, we will get started.
Okay, sounds good.
Look at this attendee count going up.
I love it.
All right, how's your evening going, Rob?
It's going well. We just got off of a live stream on Introvoke talking about what Netcapital is and how to invest on Netcapital, and hopefully some of those viewers are going to jump over here as well. I saw a couple of people sign up that way. So if you're joining us for the second time tonight, we appreciate it. You've got a lot of Netcapital tonight. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good day too. So we're building out some of our new stuff, and the fun part is where we actually get to sketch things before it becomes like official wireframes or official code. So right now it's like scribbles on paper, and it's always really cool because we keep the scribbles and then like half a year down the line we compare it and we're like, wow, that turned into something we can like click and use.
Really cool.
It becomes real. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we're at 7:02. Why don't we get started? We'll go slow, and as people dive in and join, we can circle back with them as well.
Okay, sounds
good.
great.
Welcome everybody to Netcapital's live stream with Asprodental. Netcapital is a place where anyone can buy and sell stock in private companies. And so what we'll do today is we're going to interview one of our live companies right now. As I said, Asprodental, they're currently taking investment, accepting investment. And so the way this will work is I'll be asking a series of questions of Asprodental, trying to get at what their business does, how it does it, and what the investment opportunity looks like. I'll ask follow-ups as necessary. And then anyone who's joining today is more than welcome to ask a question. So if you have any questions, any questions about Netcapital, you can direct them to me, or any questions about Asprodental, we can direct it to our amazing founders here. And we will start with that. And so with that, welcome Tiffany and Kimberly of Asprodental.
Thank you, Rob. So my name is Tiffany Nguyen. I am the co-founder, CEO of Asprodental.
And I'm Kimberly, also co-founder and chief dental officer of Asprodental.
So how we all got started, my background is dental management, and Dr. Kimberly over here has been practicing dentistry for over 20 years. So we were running dental offices together, and that's when we decided to build the practice management system that we saw was lacking in the market.
Great. And can you guys give us a little background just to kick it off on the two of you?
Yes, so I'm a practicing dentist. I've been practicing for 28 years. And
so Dr. Kimberly here, she actually started dental school when she was 19, which is really young. And she finished when she was 23. Opened her first dental office at age 25, and a few years after, the second dental office. So now they're both running successfully independently of her. And since that time, she's also started multiple free dental events for the community.
And Tiffany finished college at 19, then went on to run a $2 million dental office. She then decided to go back to USC and receive her MBA in technology commercialization, where we were awarded a grant to launch Asprodental.
Great. And what about the other members of the team who weren't able to join us tonight?
So we have Pascal, who is our VP of Sales, and he's launched multiple startups into international scales, going over to 100 international countries.
And then on the tech side, we have David leading the team. He has been through Y Combinator, so been really helpful throughout this whole process of starting the company. But on the product side, he's built products for companies like Uber, VMware, United, so highly security oriented and perfect for the healthcare space.
Great. So before we dive into what you guys do, can you talk to us a little bit about what problem are you trying to solve?
Okay, so to get into the problem, we'll tell you guys a bit first about how we realized that there was a problem. We were running our own dental offices and we were growing like crazy. And that's when you see the biggest obvious pains, right? So we were running into these hiccups every single day. And a big part of them was due to the health record software that we were using. That's a big deal in the healthcare industry because the electronic health record software, it not only does the records, it also does the scheduling, the insurance billing, the x-rays. It takes care of, it's the backbone of the practice. So the software that we were using, it was built in the 1900s.
Yeah, 1900s. Yeah.
Like literally, I think 1985 was when it was created. And that sounds really antiquated to us in the consumer market, but for dental, it's actually fairly standard. So most dental practices are running on programs built in the 1900s. We call it in dental, it's called practice management software.
PMS.
Right, because it's a pain to deal with, but that's also the official acronym. So the problem we ran into is that dentistry is an evolving business, really modern now, and the legacy software just doesn't cut it. And there are 4 big problems that we are tackling. So the first is that with the legacy server products, remote login is needed because telemedicine is now making its way into dentistry. The second is that even when we're physically in the office with the program in front of us, it's still difficult to access information because everything's really scattered across a bunch of different pages. Think Windows XP era, right? Really small buttons, cramped, and lots of pages. The third problem is that there are integrations with new companies popping up every day, which leads to this layering of platforms where you're not only looking for information on your native practice management software, but now you're logging into a different web page here, a different program here to complete the office workflow. So that's 3 problems. And the fourth one is, it's an interesting one actually. So dental offices, they are technically SMBs, but a lot of them are run like mom and pop shops and not true businesses because oftentimes the office may or may not have KPIs. And if they do, a lot of the frontline employees don't know how to measure up to them or achieve those goals.
Great. So what I'm hearing from you guys is a lot of the software currently being used in the dental industry is kind of legacy software built a long time ago, and everyone's trying to just patch it and pile things on top of it. And it's not being very smooth.
Exactly. Yep, you hit it on the dot there, Rob. Yep.
All right. Sounds tough. So talk to me about what you guys have done to take these problems and create a solution.
Well, we are Asprodental, so B2B SaaS company, and we do cloud practice management. So our program does the entire office operations from scheduling to health records to insurance billing, x-rays, the entire digital office operations. And we solved those 3 problems by first going cloud, which solves the need for remote access via TeamViewer or LogMeIn. We cut out the extra steps with a more streamlined UI and very design focused. So that's the information access problem where everything's scattered. We eliminated that. And then we put all of the new microservices like appointment reminders, text messaging, and all of that onto one platform, which solves the layering of platforms problem. And then we also introduce an interactive motivation system that encourages users to achieve KPIs and reminds them that KPIs exist, which allows the dentist to make more money.
Fantastic. And as the software sits in a dental practice, who are the people using it?
Everyone. Yeah, everyone in the office. So the entire office uses it, Rob. And so we bucket it into 2 groups. So the front people, which is from the receptionist, the manager, the scheduler, the treatment coordinator.
That's your administrative team.
Yes. And then there's the clinical team, which includes the dentist, the hygienist, and the assistants. So really everybody in the office touches the software at one point or another.
So they all have different logins for different parts of the software, and they're all using it kind of simultaneously on their own devices?
Yes.
Great. So, when you talk about kind of these disparate groups of people all using the same software, what are the features that, whether it's front office or the dentists themselves, what are those features that really kind of attract those people to your product?
So for the clinical, there's one section that clinicians interact with 90% of the time. And so in our competitor software, it's spread over 4 different pages. And for us, we have it on 1 page. So a lot of doctors will tell us that this is one of their favorite things about Aspro because it saves them time so that they can either see more patients and make more money or go home early and spend time with their family.
And then, of course, on the admin side, it's a lot easier than all of the competing softwares because it has less steps overall for scheduling, the biggest component that we all use. Texting is in one place, so removes that looking from place to place. And the last thing is really cool because no other program out there has this integrated motivation tool. So we're the only ones so far that are actively pushing the bottom line for dental offices.
And we're very excited about that part.
Yeah.
That is exciting. And so when you talk about dental offices, there's a lot of different players. I think they're usually run by dentists, but then obviously admins do a lot of the work. Who's the one who's actually making the buying decisions in these offices?
Well, you hit it on the dot, of course, the owner dentist, but also the gatekeepers, the office managers. But at the end of the day, both want to be able to save time, have an easy workflow, and also make more money. So those are the 2 that are mainly the buying decision people.
But we really need the office managers buy-in the most though, because even though, initially the founder doctor, they're the one that signs off on here, we're implementing this, but the office managers, they're like the influencers of the entire office, and they see the team members more than the owner doctor, because the owner doctor will be clinically looking at patients' teeth most of the day. So the office managers are critical, mission critical to the rollout and implementation going successfully.
So, when you talk about these office managers being so important, kind of how do you guys do your sales? How do you do the selling?
Okay, great question.
Yes.
To give you guys a bit of context first, we'll explain how dentists are already buying their purchases, so that makes a bit more sense of why we're choosing to sell the way that we are, because our distribution plan is actually one of our key competitive advantages. So as it stands today, dentistry is still a very relationship-based industry. Yes. So a dentist will buy everything in their office from the equipment, like the dental chairs, to the digital technology, like their x-ray sensors, to the consumables, like Q-tips. And they'll buy all of these things from a local dealer, which is more convenient for them, and they trust the relationship that they have with the sales rep because it's a one-stop shop. And these dealers typically have all the equipment and hardware, but they don't have the software.
So then our strategy is to work with the dealer networks. Yep. And because the dentists rely heavily on the sales rep that they have trusted over 5 years, 10 years, 20 plus years for their buying decisions, by partnering with dealer network sales, we basically have a nice warm relationships. And how we support the dealers and the sales rep is we put together continuing education workshops where we go and present, and the doctors need these continuing education for their licensing. So we have a very captive audience.
Great. So you've taken advantage of kind of regulatory requirements to help with your sales process.
Yes, yes. And we make it fun.
Yeah, it's interactive.
Yes.
I don't doubt it. So taking a kind of step back and looking at the kind of big picture for a second, how big is the market for kind of dental management software, or you called it
practice TMS?
TMS.
I knew the acronym, but I wasn't going to.
You can use it.
So, for US dental, the total software spend overall is $23 billion. That includes all software services in dental. Practice management software is $2 billion. So that gap is actually a huge opportunity because we start with a backbone, right, in practice management software, and now we can implement additional services, for example, fulfillment or CRM, and increase that gap and obtain more of that market. And then additionally, as the legacy, so most dentists are using the legacy server-based programs, and there's this big shift to cloud. And as the dentists are moving away from server onto cloud, cloud market is still really fragmented. There's no clear leader. So we see this as a really big opportunity for us to go in, take market share really quickly, and differentiate ourselves and establish ourselves there. And so the reason why we will succeed is our distribution, because we're working with those dealer networks, leveraging those existing relationships, and with a differentiation where we plan on adding fulfillment. It will allow dental offices to purchase supplies directly through the practice management software from the dealer where they bought the software, which will tie us into those dealers and establish ourselves in a portfolio so that we can be the sole software that they are selling.
Great. And as you sell into these practices, can you talk to us a little bit about what the business model of Asprodental is? How are you guys making money?
Yeah, well, this one is really straightforward. We're a SaaS business, annual contract, paid monthly. The contract value is based on the size of the dental office. It's basically how many users there are. Bigger offices are larger contracts, smaller offices are smaller. The average contract value is about $9,000 per year. And there's, in addition to that ongoing yearly subscription, there's a one-time enrollment and training fee.
Great. And do you have a sense of how long these contracts tend to last? I know you guys are young.
Yes, what a great question. Yes. So the ongoing recurring revenue, the dentist would normally use it anywhere 5, 10, 20 plus years, Rob. So as you can imagine, it is something, because it is the backbone of the office, it is something that once they get on, it is not something that they tend to go off, if you will. So let's say the legacy software that we had used in our office.
How long were you on it for?
I'm embarrassed to say.
1985?
Years.
So,
yes.
But that's the good thing, right? Because once they choose the next program, they
Yes.
build their workflow around it, then they stick with it. It's a very sticky solution, as with most enterprise sales. And right now there's a shift where people are starting to look for cloud software. So we're right at the cusp of it.
Great. And so, being right at the cusp here, can you talk to us about kind of what the progress has been from when you started the company up till now?
Yeah, we're moving fast. So
yes.
we started the whole idea, the sketches and drawings in 2017, built out the product, all the beta testing. And this year, January 2019, we incorporated. We got our first client a month later in February. Our largest client now has over 15 locations and they're expanding. We have over 100 dental professionals using the software. And we've established national dealer networks across the US, and there's some really cool stuff that we've done recently too.
Yeah, so in September, we partner with the city of Anaheim, and in October, we partner with the Orange County Health Fair. It was the first year for both of them to have electronic health records, and they picked us. So we're extremely, extremely proud of that. So no more paper charts.
They skipped straight from paper to cloud. They skipped the server one, so that's pretty cool.
That's great. And so, that's what you guys have done so far. Talk to us about what are the next major milestones? Kind of what does 2020 look like and beyond?
Oh, definitely. It's sell, Rob. Absolutely. So our goal is to have 150 new clients by the end of 2020 or more, of course. That means 38 contracts per quarter. And we believe that this is well within our capabilities.
So that 150 clients, the reason why we're going after that number is that it gives us 1 million in annual recurring revenue.
That's fantastic. And can you talk to me a little bit like kind of how you plan to get those 150 clients?
Yeah, so that was what we spent the majority of this year doing, is establishing the dealer network. So we're going with our dealer partners, and we'll give you a quick example of just one of them. And we have a bunch of these partners. But this one in particular, they package dental technology products into a bundle, and they sell about 10 of these packages per month. Each package runs about 100,000. The packages are financed for the dentist, which means that for us, the vendors, manufacturers, we get the full annual contract upfront.
Not too bad, huh, Rob?
Great. So just to clarify, so what you're saying is that your dealers bundle a bunch of different software together, and you're part of that bundle. And so basically 10 dentists a month are going to be paying for your software through this one dealer, and you're getting all of your yearly revenue up front.
Yeah, you got it.
And we have a few dealers and different models for each one. So this is just one of the neat ones.
Great. And so as you kind of look down the road, can you talk to investors about, without getting too speculative, like what does an exit scenario look like for a company in the dental tech industry? What are the
You're asking us to tell the future?
I'm asking you to read the tea leaves and tell me.
Okay.
Well, I'm explicitly not telling you that.
we believe it or not, we kind of see it fairly clearly.
Yeah,
So we will have some clear predictions here.
We do. So we're aiming for 5 million in ARR in the next 5 years. That will be 750 active contracts, which is well within our capability to do in 5 years. And we see 3 clear paths as of right now where the market stands of where Asprodental could go. So the first is those dental distribution companies that they sell all the supplies, hardware, but they don't have practice management software. The second is private equity, because PE shops are rolling up physical dental offices across the nation. And in addition to the offices, they're also rolling in the rest of the vertical, which includes supplies manufacturers and distributors, and of course, software. And then the third route would be our channel partners who they provide dental services like continuing education, consulting services, but they don't have their own practice management software.
So Tiffany, share with our investors,
Oh,
like these 3 groups in particular are interested in having, practice management software, because I think they would like to know that.
Yeah. So if we've done a fairly decent job explaining what practice management software is, then I'm hoping that you'll all understand it's a software that runs the office. Owning that software means that you can heavily influence the workflow, but not just the workflow, dentist buying power. So that's the strongest foothold, and it's a very attractive product to have in your portfolio.
Great. And one quick clarifying question. I think at the beginning of the answer to that question, you said you're going to get to 5 million in ARR. Now, I know what ARR is, but do you want to explain to investors, what that might mean? In case you're not down with the acronyms.
Oh yeah, sure. ARR, annual recurring revenue. And for a subscription business, this is a really hot thing because let's say we get our 150 next year, right? In year 2, if we get 150 new clients, then in total we have 300 clients, active contracts, because they renew every year and it's a really sticky solution. So once you get tied on, you just continue paying it because you need this thing to run your office. So it's kind of like Netflix, but more necessary, I guess.
Well,
not that necessary.
Well, I guess for a dental office, it is like the electricity, right? Without it,
you have nowhere to write your notes. Yeah.
You don't have the X-rays. You can't bill. You can't send text reminders.
Yeah.
And so, does that help, Rob?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
So a quick reminder to our participants here: if you have any questions, we're coming towards the end of our questions here. So if you have any, please feel free to throw them in. We'll get them answered as best we can. But in the meantime, Tiffany and Kimberly, is there anything else you want investors to know?
Yes, absolutely. So this is a very exciting time to be in dentistry, we think. And being in dentistry for 28 years, I've seen the trend from film X-rays to digital X-rays, where now hardly any dentists use film anymore, from paper charts to server-based electronic health records. So we expect that within the next 5 to 10 years, just about all dentists will be on the cloud. So how often do we get to be able to be at the forefront of our own industry and make a positive impact?
And on that note, the whole industry thing, if there are any viewers who are dentists, or if you have dentist friends, colleagues, family members, we are offering a special promotion for an investment of $12,000. You'll get 6 months of the software product for free, which is a $4,500 value, and you get equity in the company. So it's a fantastic deal.
So whether you're a dentist or not, come join us on this journey by investing in Asprodental. Thank you.
Great, thanks guys. So we have one question from an attendee. Are there any kind of key advisors that are helping drive growth in your company?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have some pretty good people. One of our most active advisors, if you've heard of 1-800-DENTIST, Fred Joyle, the founder of 1-800-DENTIST, he's now doing a lot of dental marketing and has a great pulse on the ecosystem. He's one of our most active advisors.
That's great. That's the only question for now. If anyone has any questions, throw them in here real quick and we'll get them answered. Otherwise, thanks everyone for attending. Again, I'm Rob from Netcapital. Netcapital is a place where a bunch of great companies, including Asprodental, are raising capital right now. Please feel free to take a look. Anyone who's interested in investing in Asprodental can find them on netcapital.com. There's the link to their investor page should also be in your invitation to this event. So if you're interested, please go to Netcapital, take a look. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Netcapital. And so with that, Tiffany and Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
And thank you everyone for taking time out of your evening. I know it's middle of the week, but we really appreciate the support and your investment.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.